And they didn't even have secreted coding. Down, 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 down. Gotta wait, folk together. I've only heard the song 500 times. What happened to game time? In all caps. He went back to school full time? Because there's not enough time for only game time? Unfortunately. You could make some commentary on the build you're doing. I'm gonna do the build I do in every single ZVZ, which is make Zerglings and Banelings and pray. He is now school time, yes. And I have a 92% win rate in matches that aren't against Dricket. Oh yeah, 17, 17, 17. I guess that's the build. I don't really use numbers for build orders. I mean, I guess I try to tie it into a lot of different things. Like, for example, I know that one of the first drones, when I do a 13 Overlord, and then you build 2 drones because you have 2 larvae, when that pops, you know what's going to happen? You send one of those drones down, you rally it down to the natural, and by the time you get to the natural, you have almost exactly 300 minerals to build another hatch. I usually, when I pull off the gas, I send one of those drones down towards the third, because by the time you get there, you'll have enough for a third. And then I'm pulling off the gas right around that 100 gas mark. And then, when I build more drones now, I'm going to rally them into the gas, so that way I'll still have gas mining. But I had the little bit of extra minerals to be able to get that third base up. Oh, this looks spicy. He's going for lings and going for a Bane Nest and a Spine, so that's... And another OV comes out, usually right before the Bane Nest is when I build that. Like, I'm not joking, like, if you've ever seen me play Slay the Spire, you'll know that numbers mean very little to me, and it is depressing. But even in SC2, I kind of time it out like that, as opposed to, oh, 16 supply, I get exactly what the fuck ever. I don't know, I kind of spitball it. I want it 27 or 28 drones. I'm usually making lings. I'm already at 29. It's a little on the high side. So I've got first OV outside of the nat, second OV outside of the third, because if the first OV gets pushed off, like sometimes it will, like my queen just did, then you need a backup to be able to see if, say, they make a bunch of Zerglings and run them across the map. I feel like about 50% of ZVZs below the Diamond League could be solved by simply putting your overlords in the right spot and then also looking at the mini-map. So that wouldn't solve the whole problem. It would just solve some of it. I see you. Don't you think I was started playing yesterday? Give me those veins. Eat them up. Eat them up. No touching. Oh, that was a little mistake there. And pull them back. I like to use control click a lot, or just manual. If you right click, then of course it gives the lings an opportunity to get up close and personal. I control click on the select all army hotkey. And I don't need to end the game off this or anything. But like it doesn't hurt. Oh. This is when I should have been getting a Roach Warren and Evo Chamber, because it's unlikely, unless I commit to a bunch of lanes, that I'm going to be killing them. anytime soon, so... Which, there's no reason to risk one Bane hit ending the game. Just get all the goodies. I'll even get a spine just in case he has anything quicker. This OV... Actually, no. I'm just gonna try to get a couple Zerglings in Cyril style. Now, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Trying all the options here. Split a little. Okay, well. I'm gonna use the oldest trick in the book. Okay. That's gonna hurt. He has so many of these. The thing is, I have enough drones I can replace very easily. That was actually really bad, though. Like, from what I could have done to stop that. I still have 53 drones, so, like, once you reach about 40 drones, Baneling hits cease to matter as much. Of course, if they also have a higher drone count, but I killed his drones when he had, like, 25. So that's a much bigger impact than losing 10 drones. It's a much bigger impact to lose like 5 drones at 25 drones rather than 10 drones at 50 drones. Okay, come with me. Come with me. Come with me. I want to show you something. Here you go. They hide in the Viet Cong Banes. Hiding in the bushes, waiting for their moment. Please don't wall in my queen. He had some lings over here, so... Bum-ba-da-ba. He's not microing his Banes. I don't know how many kills the other one got. And now I have +1 roaches. And I don't know, there's a chance he has a Spire. I bet there's maybe a dozen or so unupgraded roaches, though. That's where I think this is going. Six. Is he getting roach speed? Where's his roach line? Is it back there? Basically, the more drones you kill earlier, you kill them better, the better. I mean, obviously, but that's why Banelings are kind of a hard unit to read, because, of course, very depressingly, whenever a Baneling attacks, it dies. Rest in peace. I mean, that's their whole purpose, but when it comes to, like, this, I think this happens a lot in other matchups, especially, because ZVZ is actually a lot harder to read. But, like, a Zerg player will win a fight against a Terran, and they'll have a bunch of Banelings in their army, and they'll roll in, and all the Marines die. And then they'll be like, well, why didn't I win the game at the end? It's like, because in order to kill 40 Marines, you just use 30 Banelings and 50 Zerglings. It's like, you actually came out behind on that fight, my friend. Even though it feels like you crushed his army, even if you had a bunch of Zerglings left over, that doesn't translate into having a winning army. It's on a much smaller scale in ZVZ usually, but the real damage in ZVZ at the higher level in the early game doesn't come from the Banelings. It comes from the Zerglings. The Banelings are used as a wedge for the Zerglings to get where they need to go, like whether killing drones, killing queens, whatever. Maybe boxing out a hatch. But the Banelings are just the wedge that opens the door so the Zerglings can slip through. And a lot of people treat the banelings as like the most important part. The Zerglings are the most important part. Whereas, the banelings are just the means to an end. And yes, you'll see so many times like, well, the banelings had such good connections. Almost no game is ever won with the banelings. But this is TVT, and there will be no banelings. I'm gonna wall off the area where the Reaper could jump with the factory while acknowledging. So there's almost every map has your little Reaper cliff action going on. Where if you wall it off, then the only place the Reaper can come in is this ramp now, or jump up here. But so if you don't go for, especially if you go for an expand, which I'm not, but I'm going for the double gas to just not die. But if you don't go for the expo, and also this is a bad placement because I can't fit the tech lab here correctly, but I'm going to be building a Hellion first. Oh my god, SCV. I don't think I can fit a tech lab. Anyways, so if you go for a reactor and no bunker, then you can die just straight up. Like, if they build 2 Reapers and you have 1 Reaper and a reactor almost all the way done, then you have 1 Reaper, and that's less than 2 Reapers. I know it sounds crazy. I see so many, and I get so rustled up. You've seen it at like Diamond Player. Oh, I guess I can build a tech lab. They're like, well, what if I just built 1 Reaper and then Frady didn't attack me because he also doesn't understand TVT? It's like, well, congratulations, you got to Diamond, but like, it's a very simple, more than any other, even more than PvP. Zerg versus Zerg doesn't, I guess, suffer from this as much, but TVT is the most obvious matchup where 1 unit kills you. Like, you have 1 less Reaper, or you don't have a Cyclone, or a Raven, and then, or you don't know how to A-move, and you move command instead. For example, because otherwise, that was actually super greedy for me to be out there. But he move commanded and did not A-move, so that's just a classic mistake. But that was actually I should not have been where I was, is the summary. Let's just get a scout here. Okay, so his tech lab, that's another Rex. That's a Rex you build because you have money and you don't know why, because that's not a great timing to build a Rex and you have 2 tech labs coming up. Doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna go for 2 Ravens and get the double gas down here. But I got a little supply bot as well because I'm bad. I could maybe think about moving out, but wait, did I see a tech lab finishing on the... I think I saw a tech lab finishing on the factory. If it was already done, then he could have a Cyclone already, but we will see. What am I doing out here on my own? I can use the Raven for leverage as well. And we're gonna flip this over. I'm gonna go for a 3rd command center. So now the not-so-cold war has begun when both players have too much for the other player to attack into, at least ideally. Unless you're Maru, who's just like, but what if I, instead of not attacking, decided to attack into someone who had more stuff? Alright, 7, 8, 9, 10 SCV kills. Yeah, that's real damage. That's critical damage right there. But Maru kind of defies the laws of numbers in Starcraft sometimes, and then sometimes he just looks kind of dumb. Let's be honest here. Like, it's like, you know, if I attack up a ramp into tanks with less units, then maybe I can win. It's like, Maru. This ain't 2018. math still applies. Like, okay, that's too much gas being mined now. I mistimed it a little. This is mostly looking for his air, which I can't really see. He's mining with gas. I think he's going over for his third now. I'm gonna get up to 5 Rex. I have. It's kind of an awkward scenario because I probably with the Ravens have enough to pressure. But if I make a mistake, then my production is still on the way here. So, but I do, or I should have air control. So, put this over here. I've rebound my lift hotkey, by the way, to the F key, because the L key is all the way over on the other Brood War side of the keyboard when we just decided we're going to try to hit those hotkeys for some reason. Which made no sense, by the way, but... Yep, we can break that. Where is air unit? That's my question. He has 1 Viking. Where are the rest of his air units, that is. Because he had his defenses too spread out. Feels like he should have more air units, but sometimes players get lazy on it. So now I have my third and he does not. Actually, he's almost losing it. I don't think he'll lose it, but there's no reason to overstep here. I have barely any units. He's all spread out, which is why he took so much damage. So now I pull back and I regroup. And then my attack with my next set of upgrades and all that is actually what I go for. Like getting combat shield, learning how to build supply depots for the very first time. All important things. Have this over here, because the big threats now are, well, pretty much drops. It's unlikely that a straight-up attack can really do anything. But a drop in the wrong place might have some options, so. One of your bases has 1 guy in each gas. Thank you, Twitch chat, once again. As you can tell, I was really hurting for gas. So that's why I needed that pointed out, because it wasn't an active choice. Thank you very much. He's reestablished, 1-1 upgrades. If I could learn how to build supply depots. And then as +2 attack is finishing, there's no reason, well, I should get a 4th base, and there's no reason not to move out. Now that I kept both Ravens alive as well, so let's bring everything from over here. And scouting a little ahead so I don't just get blindsided. Okay. was actually a little on the sloppy side for sure. I didn't shift queue. I accidentally just queued up. Which means I interrupted some of my spell casting. And that means I don't quite win there. But I have another army at home. Check if he has another base. He don't. I have this scouted. Make this a planetary. He has 2-2 done. He's kept up on those upgrades. Could you guys drop out? Thank you. And once again, I reset his tank count. And that's the only thing that's going to allow you to survive for very long. Now, instead of just going right up the same ramp again, I can maybe try a different angle. Seeing, looks like he's moving. And eventually, like, once you have a decent amount of tanks, well, it's hard to... Usually the times to move out are before the stim phase, before people have, like, double-digit Marines with stim. So your early, like, 1-1-1 attacks, you got your Raven tank action, you got your Viking action, you got your... That's most of it, but... and then after stim finishes and the upgrades are finishing, like as people try to take their third, usually that's closer to like 100 to 150 supply. It depends on whether you went for production early. Like if you go for production early, you're going to have a big swell of units a little quicker, and can use that to leverage and well, take out their third ideally. Whereas I can learn how to put a pylon down. Either take out or force the third base to lift, especially if they went for maybe double upgrades or later production. Or you can sit back and use it to secure your third more safely. Is this the right spot? I'm trying to block the Reaper, but I never, like... They made it so you could no longer block with one pylon on most of the maps, so... Because Terran players were like, I need to be able to scout your entire base with a Reaper every single game, otherwise I literally cannot win ever. I believe that's a direct quote. So, that's the summary on the Reaper jump locations. Alright. Eric's on the way. Check his gas. He's not started building anything. Does my spray work? Where's my salt spray? Aww. Do some fancy micros. His Reaper was a little on the late side. We're gonna put this here so I can maybe have a wall against potentially Hellions. I'll be a cheeky devil. Fun fact, I didn't know what the word cheeky... Well, I thought the word cheeky was phased out of existence until I started watching Starcraft 2. And there were several British commentators And I was like, wow, people use that in real life in like the 21st century? That's so crazy. But that was many years ago. Now I'm very cultured. Shift right click allows you to track, essentially. If you shift right click on a building SCV, then it will follow it around. So you'll see me spamming that. It's not just for the sick APMs to show off to my viewers, but it's so that when the SCV is building, it tracks it around the command center. If you just right click or A click, it won't always follow the SCV because the probe is easily distracted. Because we didn't splurge on anything past a fucking Pentium 2 processor, apparently, or something. I don't know. Getting the first mule will be nice here. Also, let's try to get a scout on what he's actually doing. Okay. So, I don't want to wall off against Marines, because then it'll be used against me, potentially. I'm gonna go for Colossi. I'm going for, like, the safest build. I've got a little bit of micro happening. I am a little surprised. That is a bit of a mistake. I like to build, if I'm going for Robo Bay, you don't really have as much leeway to build observers because that Robo time's at a premium. But I do usually build two, one for the other side, and then one for watching for drops / widow mines, all that. And I will actually make a few stalkers first, just to have that anti-air potential. This one's just gonna chill. I'll siege it up out here. So, I usually like to choose this location. We'll get the extended tunnel lance as well. I like to choose the outer location as a Protoss against Terran, because that way a drop can't threaten my third and my main, essentially at the same time. Like, if a drop comes in from this angle, it's a threat to both bases. And this early on, I'm not going to have the ability to split easily, so you need to be able to hedge your bets. I need more minerals, so I can build more Coloxin. And then this probe can patrol. +1. Usually you don't want to put your observer in the most obvious spot, because at some point players will understand that observers exist. That happens somewhere around 6,000 MMR. It's like, how did you know my army was moving out, you hacker? It's like, no, I'm just that good. Okay. Obviously. Usually, well, am I at 50? I'm at 55 probes. Oh, I should have already added gates. Speaking of hacking, did you see that on the minimap? Or were you looking at my beautiful face? Well, maybe you should look at the minimap more, because then you would see these medevacs move out, and then be able to snipe them. Think about it. And that's what it's for. Don't get distracted. Alright. That's also why I love surveillance mode, because it's one of the few examples of a change Blizzard made, and we'll have a talk about that. A change Blizzard made that both it adds a new dynamic for higher level players that is interesting and not broken, as well as helping newer players who only use one hotkey, and it doesn't involve any control groups. So, it is an interesting one for sure. So at this point, he's just kind of chilling. I'm gonna get a Templar Archives. I'm getting charge. Blink would be the try-hard option. At this point, I'm usually, it depends on if they're building Vikings as well, whether or not you want to go for. By the way, this War Prism isn't real, bro. But how does he know that? He doesn't. Okay. Very scary. So he's getting all the things. Is his entire army still back there? I'm gonna start getting some disruptors. There's not many places to go on this map. How many warp gates do I have? Not enough. Let's open up the map here. Can I click on one of his marines so I can see the upgrades, please? Getting cannons to protect. That's a lot of bio. He has 1/1, so like even with Colossi, that's still kind of dicey there. I'm gonna have more spell casting than Harry Potter here, which is a typical Protoss move. I'll get Blink as well. Just what? Blink, Disruptor, Phoenix, Sentry, Templar. My favorite. Make Starcraft Brood War again. Give them like Zealot legs or something. Bring back Dragoons. All right. Let's go fishing. Wait. Can we do the bait and switch?
You are now in my service.
Roots forgot to continue streak smile.
Oh baby, a triple. That was a little mean. Don't worry, guys. A lot of people are like, Winter, who is Grandmaster Random, literally only plays against Diamond players. Which is mostly true. But they are my viewers and they lined up for it. So what does that say about them? Probably daddy issues. I don't know if I've seen Twitch chat before. Based on my experience. Please stop, please. You shall not pass. Uh-oh. Did you just leave the game? Wait, is there a ninja GG? Is there a no GG option that allows you to stay in the game? I didn't even know Peep Mode had that. Oh, I see it now. I don't know. I think there is. Oh, I'm almost at $69,000. What can I buy? How would I want any units that aren't the Marines? Oh, pets. I can get a... You can get pets. Oh, yeah. Gotta grind out your peep mode dollars, boys. Thank you, SC Metroid.
My service.
5 months since
5
I
months.
succumbed to the Twitch Prime ad. Keep up with the great
I just still
content.
enjoy. Alright, so Altrius has gifted thousands of subs to the channel. I know many of you have thanked him. Been such a great supporter. That means he gets special treatment. I'm gonna try to kill him within 10 minutes. I won't draw it out. Thank you, the James X Games.
Service.
PvP is the most skill-based poker game in all of Starcraft. Okay? Where we play, do you have a pylon on the map, or do you not? And if so, are you actually proxying anything at said pylon? And do you actually want to proxy anything, or is it a... On the bright side, BlizzCon should be pretty well devoid of PvP. Because we have successfully eliminated all races that aren't Zerg from contention. Almost. We're almost there. Watch all my other videos and comment on that. Is that a hard wall? My friend. But why? Okay. So a lot of people like to make anti-air early, okay? They really do. I've noticed that a lot, like building turrets at the 2-minute mark. So what I want to show you guys is the earliest time you would need anti-air. And what would that time be? That time, of course, would be if somebody proxied a Stargate in your mineral line. So I'm going to proxy a Stargate in his mineral line. We will see. He does have a Zealot. Alright, that was a tactical Stargate.
My service.
The fake out. He built a Zealot, and that Zealot cannot get out of his base, remember. This was all a long-term expansion build. Okay, obviously. As you can tell from the start. Thank you, Sneak Attack. So now he's spent money and mining time on things that cannot get out of his base. Did he probe scout me? Because there's a chance he has a Stargate. Like, there's a non-zero chance here. I actually need to maybe think about that a little bit. It's Deets. Alright. I know Deets when I smell them. Those Cape boys, so dirty. I actually don't remember if he probe scouted me. I was too busy with my own shenanigans. Well, how did you get out? Oh, I just let him build that. Oh, let me out! Let me leave! No, 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 no.
You are now in my service.
Thank you, Night Chaos. Well, he's going Robo, which means he won't have units. He will not have units that have great anti-air. So, I really need to switch the hotkey. Because the base hotkey for hallucinating an oracle is L, which is not... This isn't Brood War. Hitting P for probe. It's like, well, probe starts with a P, therefore it will be the easiest thing. I remember, if you guys go on my YouTube and watch the well-hidden video where I interviewed the lead developer of Starcraft Remastered, he also told some stories about the initial release of... Actually, I think it was the art designer who was on the team for Brood War, who also worked on Remastered. Yeah, it was actually the guy who was there when they had the first StarCraft. But apparently there are a few things they found out. First off, it was a legitimate concern when they started watching Koreans play in like 1998. They're like, wait. Can the game handle that many actions per minute? Remember, this is 1998. Okay, like they weren't sure if the game would work at that speed. Like, long term. There were legitimate concerns. And also apparently they found a bug with Remastered. They found a bug that until they gave it to the Koreans to play with, they didn't realize. Apparently, if your APM, like if you were trying to have more APM than your game had FPS, and it was averaging around 300 FPS, the actions would not input sometimes. So nobody at Blizzard had the 300-something APM. It was like some graphical bug with certain graphic settings. Where, based on the frames of them, I don't know exactly the technical details, but the devs didn't have high enough APM, is the summary. For the 300-400, but the pro Brood War players were like, what's happening? Some of my actions are not registering, which is impressive because in Brood War it feels like most of your actions don't register. But let's be honest here. Oh, he's building immortals. That's actually going to be dangerous for me. Yeah, it is. I'm pretty sure most of the Brood War pros use Remastered now, but for the first few months, most players, and I'm pretty sure they still play on the 4:3 aspect ratio, because, and this is a literal quote, there's less space to move your mouse on the screen to get from place to place. Okay. Playing on like 17-inch square monitors. Those Brood War players are such tryhards. Camera hotkeys were a thing in Brood War. And are. You might have just been a noob. It's okay. It like many things in Brood War, it's hard to tell if they actually register. Like, you just have to assume you did it right. That's the process. That was my biggest issue with playing it all. Like, wait, did that action happen? It's like, well, I selected all my Templar, and I went to Storm. Did I storm? I stormed. Wait, where did all the energy go? Oh, Hana. Under 10 minutes? Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry. I got a little carried away. What? Why were you here? That's actually a lot of Immortals. And they are very scary units. Have I said that before? I mean, he was at the other third. Immortals are a very good unit. I will tell you. Alright, we're gonna pause this for a quick commercial break because, believe it or not, with all this commentary, it might end up on YouTube. Like and subscribe. This is right in the middle of the video where people skip through until they get to the matchup they think they'll learn something from. But, okay, whatever you're into. I'll be right back.
Oh, you are now in my service.
Make no mistake, war is coming with all its glory and all its horror.
Nice. Time to pull out that strategy guide. Build supply depots. Yes. Again. Find a Vespine geyser. Need a map? Nukes ready. Oh no. Max supply. I agree. Quantity over quality. Don't worry. It's not about winning or losing. It's about complaining on the internet.
Soon. Okay, back to games. Can I buy any... Wait, cash my chips. What was that an ad for? That ad is for people who can read. I'm playing the game, didn't see the end. Oh, that's a good excuse. He's got a good excuse. My underlords needed my attention. Never mind. It wasn't his overlords. It was his underlords. Get the fuck out. Bad excuse. It's a turn-based game. But we are going to be talking about the new patch updates pre-BlizzCon. So if this happens to be on YouTube and you're watching and you're like, I wonder what happened, it'll be the second update video where they revise some things. The summary is they've taken my suggestion to heart. My only half-joking suggestion to make Starcraft Brood War again. And let's be honest, I wasn't the only one making that suggestion. But, one step closer. And I'll be going over that after. I think we got one more person after this. I don't even know what race my opponent is right now, but we're going to find out. The biggest change, everybody knows, the biggest change was, of course, the mule mining for 1 second less, so that way it doesn't die with minerals in its jaws. A nerf slash buff, kind of, to mining out his Terran. It's a little like, okay, I'm amused that they even thought of that. Okay, so we gotta get our battle cruisers in while we still can. So obviously, we're going battle cruiser. I've had a whole year of the only win rate, the only matchup on the ladder that my Terran win rate is over 50% is TVZ. The first season I had like a 90% win rate before they nerfed the cruisers a little bit. Now they're hitting them with the nerf bat again, but I still think battle cruiser, like maybe not as an opener. Probably still as an opener. To be honest, they'll still be okay. Anybody else see that? That's a very quick third. I just forgot to build units for a little bit. Hey! Oh! Micro Jackson! Nope. Gotta drop supply because I forgot to build depots. Stay behind the wall. We built it for a reason, Hellions. Don't you understand? Oh yeah. Wait, is there a leaderboard now? There's a leaderboard on. Should I opt in to the new channel points thing? I saw it. I'm like, oh god. Here this goes. They're gonna try to consolidate that. As long as it doesn't spam chat endlessly. Yo, go away. It's so mean. Bro. I was actually way sloppier than I needed to be. Because I fucking let him. I do this with Baneling Bus so often. I'm like, you know what'd be even more fun? If you just came in and we chilled, like let's Baneling Bust and chill, you know what I mean? Normal fucking Tuesday night for me. Mouse, come back. I lost track of my mouse cursor for a sec. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, nope, do not lift that. He has way more Zerglings. Oh, this is gonna get a little dangerous. Like, why did I take damage from this? It doesn't matter too much. My armory was late, mostly. I'm still fine, but, like, I take so much damage to Baneling Bus. It's actually ridiculous. This is how I lose so many ladder points that I do not need to lose. This is not the ladder, this is worse. Let's get some more factories here. We can still play the battle mech. It's still good. Just kill the drones. He's trying to drone up here.
대출은 불가능합니다.
I should now have... Well, let's make sure he doesn't have any banelings chilling over there. Let's go home, battle cruiser. Go home. You'll be okay. We can finally chill. And then another full round of banelings. Like, you come back, get repair. Jesus. I'm gonna get one tank. Does he have a spire? He does not have a lair. That makes sense. The Ventria scan. Can we repair this, please? Why don't you... Okay. Fully repaired. Jump in. Another battle cruiser. Things are escalating. Does he have banelings? There they are. Here we go again. Not this time. I still like... Part of the reason that did anything is because I let the first round of banelings in. I'm like, what if I kept the door open? What I built this wall, but I keep the door open because I'm a nice guy. Thank you, Cliff. For 9 months. Altria's gifting to the people. Thank you by the book for a year. Glad you still enjoy. Yeah, it's like a college dorm, all right. You got a bunch of doors open and a whole lot of people coming in that maybe you aren't such a big fan of just because you wanted that one friend. Okay. Like, oh, well, now I regret this decision, and they're not leaving. Oh no. Why am I scouting so early? I'm gonna get the proxy Stargate in the mineral line. No one can stop me, besides the probes. Honestly, probably the easiest way is the cannon rush at that butt. There is no pylon wall area here on this map. I mean, like you can slap a pylon down. Why are you so suspicious about probe, bro? What's up? Why you gotta cramp my style? Oh no, he knows if you kill the probe, you kill the problem. Uh-oh. It will finish! There's no stopping us now! I'm so sorry, Clockmeister. It was supposed to be Altruist. That's a real excuse. I'm so sorry. No, no touch, no touch, no touch. Too much shield. He's also building a Stargate. But I have more shield batteries, bro. I got my hype team. I'm so sorry. Is that it? The one scenario where you can justify a turret at the 3-minute mark. GG, y'all. No. Thank you for playing with me. Thank you to the nerds. Hopefully you enjoyed this hour of me beating up on my viewers and then allowing their lings and banes inside and then... Well... I hope you enjoyed some games. Maybe next season we'll finally make StarCraft Brood War again. But check out all the new balance changes coming up. Will they be changed by the time they come out? Let's